Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadramaya. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. This is Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Kantra Srimad Bhagvatam Ki Jai, Jai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, titled The Passing Away of Bhishmadev. Text number 22. Tatapi ekanta bhaktesu pasya bhupanukampitam pasya bhupanukampitam yanme asumstyajata sakshat yanme asumstyajata sakshat Krishno darshanam agataha Krishno darshanam agataha Tatapi ekanta bhaktesu Pasya bhupanukampitam yanme sumstyajata sakshat Krishno darshanamagataha tatapi ekanta bhaktesu pasya bhupanukampitam yanme sumstyajata sakshat Krishno darshanamagataha
Tatapi ekanta bhakteshu Asya bhupanukampitam Anmeya sumstyajata sakshat Krishna darshanamagataha Tatapi ekanta bhakteshu Asya bhupanukampitam Anmeya sumstyajata sakshat Krishna darshanamagataha Tatapi ekanta bhakteshu Asya bhupanukampitam Anmeya sumstyajata sakshat Krishna darshanamagataha.
Mataji. Tatapi ekanta bhakteshu pasya bhupanukampitam yanme sumstyajata saksha Krishna darshanamagataha. Word for word translation. Tatapi, still. Ekanta, unflinching. Bhaktesu, onto the devotees. Pasya, see here. Bhupa, O king. Anukampitam, how sympathetic. Yat, for which. Me, my. Asun, life. Tyajataha, ending. Sakshat, directly. Krishnaha, the personality of Godhead. Darshanam, in my view. Agataha, has kindly come. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Yet, despite His being equally kind to everyone, He has graciously come before me while I am ending my life, for I am His unflinching servitor. Purport. The Supreme Lord, the Absolute Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, although equal to everyone, is still more inclined to His unflinching devotee, who is completely surrendered and knows no one else as His protector and master. Having unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord as one's protector, friend, and master is the natural condition of eternal life. A living entity is so made by the will of the Almighty that he is most happy when placing himself in the condition of absolute dependence. The opposite tendency is the cause of fall down. The living entity has this tendency of falling down by dint of misidentifying himself as fully independent to lord it over the material world. The root cause of all troubles is therein false egotism. One must draw towards the Lord in all circumstances. The appearance of Lord Krishna at the deathbed of Bhishmaji is due to his being an unflinching devotee of the Lord. Arjuna had some bodily relation with Krishna because the Lord happened to be his maternal cousin. But Bhishma had no such bodily relation. Therefore, the cause of attraction was due to the intimate relation of the soul. Yet because the relation of the body is very pleasing and natural, the Lord is more pleased when he is addressed as the son of Maharaj Nanda, the son of Yasoda, the lover of Radharani. This affinity by bodily relation with the Lord is another feature of reciprocating, loving service with the Lord. Bhishma Dev is conscious of this sweetness of transcendental humor, and therefore he likes to address the Lord as Vijaya Sakhe, Partha Sakhe, etc., exactly like Nanda Nandana or Yasoda Nandana. The best way to establish a relation in transcendental sweetness is to approach him through his recognized devotees. One should not try to establish the relation directly. There must be a via medium which is transparent and competent to lead us to the right path. Om Jnana Timranjasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksu Unmitam Yena Tasmei Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Pandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Apta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sute Devi Pranamani Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone, thank you for coming to Srimad Bhagavatam class today. So, we're discussing Bhishma Dev's instructions to Maharaj Yudhishthira. So, previous chapter we saw how Kunti Devi, she first tried to offer different wonderful prayers to Krishna, appealing to Krishna to stay back in Hastinapur. And then after that, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he followed, and he also pleaded with Krishna, please stay back. And then Krishna, he decided to stay back. And then Krishna, first thing he does, he asks the Pandavas to dress themselves very nicely and then go and see Bhishma Dev, who is now going to pass away soon. And it's mentioned in the previous chapter, we're hearing how even Krishna himself and different great sages, rishis, devotees of Lord, they tried to convinced Maharaj Yudhishthira that he shouldn't lament over the death of so many soldiers, because Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was lamenting, or this whole battle of Kurukshetra happened just because of my own selfish personal desires, just to situate me on the throne. So many millions of soldiers, men got killed. And along with them, many innocent people got killed also. So like this, Yudhishthira Maharaj was lamenting, and different devotees, even Krishna himself, they tried to console Maharaj Yudhishthira and tell him that, don't lament, it's not your fault, this is the will of the Lord. But still, no one could pacify Maharaj Yudhishthira. So, Prabhupada in his purports, he explains to us that Krishna, he arranges this lila, this pastime, just to glorify Bhishma Dev. Just to glorify Bhishma Dev, in the future, how he's the greatest devotee. That what Krishna himself couldn't do, what Vyasadeva couldn't do, what all these great sages and rishis couldn't do, Bhishma Dev was able to do. Just see what a great devotee Bhishma Dev is. Even though he's just about to pass away, even though he's lying on a bed of arrows in such a painful, uncomfortable situation, still he's speaking such amazing transcendental knowledge. So just see the glory of this devotees. So that's the nature of Krishna. He is very humble by nature, and he always, rather than putting himself forward, he always wants to put his devotees forward and glorify them more. Srila Prabhupada, he also left this world in the same way, fighting. Prabhupada was lying on his bed and he couldn't move any part of his body. He would just open his mouth and continue reciting purports to Srimad Bhagvatam. So in the same way, Bhishma Dev is passing away, and Krishna, he asked Maharaj Yudhishthira to go see Bhishma Dev. Second reason Krishna arranges the situation is to satisfy Bhishma Dev's desire. First reason is to glorify Bhishma Dev, just see, what a great devotee he is. Second reason is that Bhishma Dev, he had this desire to see the Pandavas victorious, to see them as the, being on the throne and being happy and prosperous. Because throughout whole of Bhishma Dev's lives, he was seeing how the Pandavas were harassed in so many different ways. And he knew the Pandavas were pure devotees of Lord, so that it very much, touched his heart to see how much the Pandavas have to suffer, even though they're pure devotees of Lord. So this was Bhishma Dev's desire. When will this battle end? When will the Pandavas will be finally enthroned on the kingdom? So that's why Krishna, usually when you go to see someone who's dying or to the crematory, you dress in white clothes, you don't wear jewelry, you wear very simple plain clothes and go, because it's like a very sad moment, so everyone goes there to grieve. But instead, Krishna, he asked the Pandavas to dress very nicely with all garments and go with all opulence, so that when Bhishma Dev sees him, he'll be very happy, thinking, okay, finally, they're on the throne, they're the emperor, finally this battle is over. So we'll give Bhishma Dev happiness. And third reason is that, again, Bhishma Dev, it was his deep desire to, pass away this world, in a very auspicious situation, seeing the Lord in front of him. So Krishna arranged, he personally came and was present before Bhishma Dev as Bhishma Dev left this world. So we see how personal Krishna is, with his devotees. Any desire a devotee holds in his heart, Krishna, he fulfills. Same way in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see the passing of Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur had this deep desire to, pass away in the presence of the Lord. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arranged. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally present. And Haridas Thakur, with his eyes, he was drinking the nectar of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, transcendental form. And embracing the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Haridas Thakur, he left this world. In this way, we see how Krishna, he fully satisfies the desires of all the devotees. And he arranges for them, safe passage from this world back to Goloka, where they'll eternally engage in his service. Now, before I came to Krishna consciousness, I knew about Bhishma Dev just by watching, the TV serials, Mahabharata. And from what I watched on TV, you don't really identify Bhishma Dev as such a great devotee or as a Mahajan. Because when we read Bhagavatam, we hear that Bhishma Dev is included as one of the 12 Mahajans. So when we first hear that, immediately the doubt comes, especially those who come from Indian background, the doubt comes, why is Bhishma Dev mentioned as one of the 12 Mahajans? Wasn't he fighting on the bad guy's side? He was siding with Duryodhana. If he's such a great devotee, why did he fight on the side of Adharma? So naturally this question comes to mind, and especially was troubling me. But that's why it's so important to read Prabhupada's books, because Prabhupada, he clarifies all these doubts and misconceptions we might have. So in this chapter, in one of the previous purports, Prabhupada explains that Bhishma Dev, he was fighting on the other side, he was fighting on Duryodhana's side by the will of the Lord. It was Krishna's will that Bhishma Dev fight on the Kauravas side. That's the only reason Bhishma Dev stayed there. That's the ultimate reason. Beyond all other secondary reasons that, for moral reasons, because he had promised to take care of them. Beyond all of that, the ultimate reason Prabhupada says, it was Krishna's will that Bhishma Dev fight on Duryodhana's side. So the second question comes, why does Krishna want, his pure devotee, Bhishma Dev, why does Krishna want such a great elevated devotee to fight on Duryodhana's side? So that also in the same purport, Prabhupada explains in this chapter. Prabhupada says that Krishna, he wanted to show the whole world, he wanted to show the whole universe, that no matter how great of a warrior you are, no matter how greatly qualified you are with all material abilities, if you're fighting on the side of a dharma, you'll be finished, you'll be destroyed. No matter how great of a person you are. Because at that time in that universe, no one was as great of a warrior as Bhishma Dev. And that's why we see in the start of this chapter, as Bhishma Dev is passing away, all the great sages, rishis, all the great elevated personalities from all the universe, they were present as Bhishma Dev was passing away. So he was renowned through the whole universe as such a great personality. So that's why Krishna, he put him on the side of Adharma just to teach a lesson to the whole universe. You might be such a great personality like Bhishma Dev, such a great warrior with all such abilities and qualifications. But if you're fighting on the side of Adharma, then you'll be finished. So that's the main lesson Krishna wanted to show through Bhishma Dev. So understanding this from Prabhupada's purpose, then it makes sense. Okay, yes, Bhishma Dev is the pure devotee Lord, and the only reason he fought on Duryodhana's side is because Krishna wanted him to. So as Dinabandhu Prabhu was explaining, like these 12 Mahajans, they're no ordinary persons. They're directly experiencing Krishna. And for such elevated devotees, Krishna talks to them from within the heart. So Krishna was telling Bhishma Dev, that you fight on Duryodhana's side, and the reason I want you to fight is, I want to fulfill this purpose. And for the sake of Krishna's pleasure, Bhishma Dev, he was ready to do this. And when we understand this, then we can understand how much amazing service Bhishma Dev did. Because it's actually a very tough devotional service, what Bhishma Dev did. Because even though he's a devotee of the Lord, he has to side with demons. Because Duryodhana, Karna, Dhritarashtra, they're all, as we read from Srimad Bhagvatam, they're all such demoniac personalities. But just for the sake to satisfy Krishna's plan, to satisfy Krishna's pleasure, Bhishma Dev, he had to tolerate being in the association of such materialistic people, being in the association of such demons. And that's actually very, very, very tough, because the natural instinct of a devotee is he wants to hang out with other devotees, and that's where he feels very natural. But Bhishma Dev, just for the sake of the Lord, to satisfy Krishna's plan, he was willing to stay with Duryodhana's party. And Bhishma Dev knew, because I'm fighting on the side of our dharma, I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose in this battle. I'm going to get killed. But still, even though he knew that this was going to happen to him, still he fought. So if we try and put ourselves in Bhishma Dev's position, we can imagine how great of a austerity Bhishma Dev took just for the sake of Krishna's pleasure. Pandavas, for them, even though they went through so many tribulations, at least Krishna was on their side all the time. Whereas Bhishma Dev, he had to fight along with the demons, and he knew he was going to get killed. He was going to get defeated in battle. But still, despite knowing all this, he still fought with such detachment. So, as Prabhu Rasamitra Gaur Prabhu was explaining, that Bhishma's position is very similar to Vibhishan also. He was also another amazing devotee Lord. He was Ravana's brother, but he was a devotee despite being Ravana's brother. And in Lanka at that time, everyone was just demons. He was like the only devotee. So despite being surrounded by so many demons, Vibhishan was still able to maintain his devotion, which is extremely difficult, because the main thing that gives us strength is the association of other devotees. That gives us strength and helps us stay steady in devotional service. But great personalities like Vibhishan, Bhishma Dev, they were able to maintain, their devotion to Krishna, despite being in the association of demoniac people. Another example, Rasamitra Prabhu was explaining of Bharat Maharaj. Actually, in Ramayana, it's Bharat Maharaj, he took one of the greatest austerities. Because Lakshman, he was with Lord Ram the whole time, and Mother Sita. Whereas Bharat Maharaj, he was separated from them. And secondly, the austerity Bharat Maharaj had to do was that he had to, everyone in the kingdom, they doubted Bharat Maharaj. Everyone thought that Bharat Maharaj, he also was part of the conspiracy to kick Lord Ram out. And all the citizens doubted him, and all of his close ones, ministers, everyone doubted him. And Bharat Maharaj, he had to tolerate all of that. So in the same way, Bhishma Dev, he had to go through all of this just for the sake of Krishna's plan, just for the sake of Krishna's devotional service. So by reading Prabhupada's books, when we understand this, then we get an idea. Okay, so this is why Bhishma Dev. This is one of the qualities or reasons why Bhishma Dev is glorified so much. For the sake of Krishna's pleasure, he was able to tolerate so much. Even despite being in the association of such materialistic persons, he still was unflinching in his devotional service. And that's what's mentioned in today's verse. That although Krishna is equally kind to everyone, he has graciously come before me while I'm ending my life, for I am his unflinching servitor. So despite staying in such materialistic association, he never deviated from his devotion to Krishna. He was always fully focused on Krishna. And this is what wins over the Supreme Lord. Savai pumsa prodharma yato bhakti ardodokshajay ahi tukriya pratihata ye atma suprasidati. So this is in second chapter of first canto. It explains Savai pumsa prodharma yato bhakti ahi tukhi. So devotional service should be performed without any material desires and apratihata. It should be uninterrupted. And if this happens, then Krishna will be satisfied. Krishna will be pleased. And because Krishna is pleased, ye atma suprasidati. We'll also be pleased. We'll also be naturally happy. So Bhishma Dev, he's talking about this quality of unflinching. That one continue day in, day out, he always does devotional service, despite his external situation. So devotees, they are transcendental to the external situation. No matter where they are, what condition of life they put in, they continue on with the service. And that's how glorious Bhishma Dev is. Even though he's fighting on the Kaurava side, he was still able to maintain his devotion. Vibhishan, even though he's in Lanka, surrounded by all these demons, surrounded by, along with Ravana, he was still able to maintain his devotion. And they're able to do this because in all conditional life, they're simply meditating on the Lord, and they're dependent on the Lord. And that's the first thing Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, that a living entity is so made by the will of the Almighty that he is most happy when placing himself in the condition of absolute dependence. So the first thing Prabhupada talks about in this purport is how a devotee, he fully depends on the Supreme Lord. And Prabhupada says this condition of fully depending on the Lord, that's actually the natural condition of the living entity. So if the living entity simply functions on the natural condition of depending on the Lord, then he'll always be happy. Just like the natural condition of the fish is to be in water. As long as the fish is in water, he'll be happy. Similarly, the natural condition of the soul is that he is always depending on the Lord. And this we see, with all the Vrajvasis. You see throughout Krishna Leela, whenever any problem comes to Vrindavan, the Vrajvasis immediately they go to Krishna and they appeal to Krishna. And about that point before that, externally, the devotee might be put in any kind of situation in material world, but still he is always happy because his focus is on Krishna and he depends on Krishna. And today we're hearing of Bhishma Dev, but another example that comes to mind is of King Chitraketu. So once upon a time, like this is in 6th canto, it's mentioned, once upon a time, King Chitraketu, who was traveling in an airship going around the universe, and along with him were some women of the Vijayadhara planet. By the blessings of Lord Shankarsana, he had become like the leader of the Vijayadhara planet. So he was traveling in the sky, and important point is, although he was traveling with all these women, he didn't forget to chant the holy name of the Lord. So he was chanting the glories of the Lord, and he was traveling on this airship and going around. And then he was passing by the residence of Lord Shiva, and he saw a interesting sight of Lord Shiva. He's sitting, and on his lap, on Lord Shiva's lap, Parvati Devi is sitting, and they're embracing each other. But while they're embracing, there's actually a whole gathering of different sages and different rishis. They're sitting in front of Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva is embracing his wife in front of all these sages. So when Chitraketu, he sees this, he laughs, and he critiques Lord Shiva and saying, what is this, Lord Shiva is supposed to be such a great elevated personality, but look at him here. He's embracing his wife in front of all these great sages and rishis, Like this Chitraketu, he jokingly criticizes Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, he doesn't take any offense. He just smiles and he remains silent. And all the rishis, they also understand the intent of Chitraketu, and they also remain silent. They know that it's not an offense. Otherwise, the Shastric injunction is when a devotee or the Supreme Lord is being offended or is being criticized, then one should immediately run away from that place. Either one should kill that person, cut off his tongue, or defeat him in argument, or they should run away from that place. But when Chitraketu Maharaj, he was laughing and jokingly criticizing, none of the sages left. So Prabhupada explains actually it wasn't an offense. It was just like a, just a joking comment. And they understood Chitraketu Maharaj's intention. Chitraketu Maharaj, he was thinking that, yes, Lord Shiva, he's such a great elevated personality, he can't be contaminated by everything. But, like as Krishna says in Gita, that whatever action a great person does, the common men follow. Yad yad acharya sestas, tatta devatarjana, sayat pramanam kurite, lokas tad animartate. So Lord Shiva, he's such a great elevated personality, everyone follows him. If he himself, is doing this, embracing his wife in front of such great sages and rishis, then common men they'll also imitate him, even though they're not on that level, and they will engage in religion. So that's why Chitraketu, he jokingly was criticizing Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, he understood Chitraketu's intent, and Lord Shiva, he didn't take any offense. He understood, yes, what Chitraketu is saying is understandable, is right. And the sages also understood. But Parvati Devi, she mistook Chitraketu. And when Bhakti Rasamitra Maharaj was here, he was saying actually in this Leela, everyone involved, they're all pure devotees. Lord Shiva is a pure devotee, Parvati Devi is a pure devotee, Chitraketu Maharaj is a pure devotee. But Krishna, he arranged this Leela just to teach us a lesson. So Parvati Devi, she mistook Chitraketu by Krishna's arrangement. Just like Arjuna, he got confused out of Gita. Just like Maharaj Yudhishthira, he's lamenting, oh, so many soldiers got killed because of me, why this all happened? So in the same way, by Krishna's will, Parvati Devi, she got angry and she cursed King Chitraketu. So Parvati Devi, she is also pure Devi, but by Krishna's will, Krishna arranged this situation just to teach us lessons. So Parvati Devi, she got angry and she cursed Chitraketu Maharaj. Then, you're such an impudent person, who are you, what's your position? Who are you to find fault with Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva is the greatest of all. Because you're acting in such a way, criticizing such a great soul as Lord Shiva, I curse you, then your next life you'll become like a demon. You'll be born in the family of demons. Like this Parvati curses. And Prabhupada explains, actually there was no fault on Chitraketu's part. He was completely faultless. But even though he was faultless, he got such a heavy curse. So usually Prabhupada says, when we don't do a mistake and we get chastised or get some penalty, immediately, we retaliate. And we speak up, hey, you're mistaking me. Actually, I didn't do anything wrong. I think there's a misunderstanding. How could you say this to me, or how could you punish me in that way? Naturally, we try and defend ourselves or retaliate or speak back. But the amazing thing is, we see with the character of Chitraketu Maharaj, he just tolerated the curse. And he just took it happily. It's mentioned, he happily took the curse upon himself, accepting it as the reaction of his past karma. And he started speaking great words of philosophy to Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi. He started speaking, that by the arrangement of the Lord, all karma will come to us. Good karma, bad karma would naturally come to us. And one should be happy in any situation. Like this, he started speaking great words of philosophy. And he bowed down. He came off his airplane, bowed down in front of Parvati Devi and thanked her for the curse. Sorry for any offense I did, Mother Parvati. Please forgive my offense. Thank you for cursing me. And he happily took the curse upon himself. Then he got back in his airplane and he went away. And when Parvati Devi and Lord Shiva, they saw this, especially Parvati Devi, she was astonished. Because she was thinking, that usually when you curse someone, that, they'll be sad or depressed or they'll become angry. But this guy, instead of being depressed or angry, he's thanking her for cursing him. So she was completely bewildered. What kind of person is this? And he was speaking such great, elevated words of philosophy that Parvati Devi was just completely astonished. Like, who is this person? Then Lord Shiva, he smiles. And then Lord Shiva starts explaining to Parvati Devi that Chitraketu Maharaj, he's a pure devotee of the Lord. And these devotees, they're no ordinary person. And then Lord Shiva, he quotes this famous verse, Narayana Parasave Nakutasthana Bibhati Sarga Pavaga Narkesu Apitulyarta Darshana. That Narayana Para, that these Narayana Para devotees of the Lord, like King Chitraketu, for them it doesn't matter whether they're in hell, heaven, Vaikuntha, wherever they are, they're always happy and blissful. Nakutasthana Bibhati Sarga Pavaga Narkesu Apitulyarta Darshana. In their eyes, in their vision, everything is the same. Whatever material situation they put in, they just see it as the same. It could be in the hellish planets, it could be in the, in the kingdom full of demons, like with Bhishma Dev, or it could be, in a whole city full of demonic people, Ravana is associates, like in Vibhishan's case. Whatever situation they're in, they're always happy, despite the external situation. Why? Because they're always, for them, the main focus of life is just service to Krishna. Where as long as they have service to Krishna, they're happy. And the material situation doesn't matter to them. So that's the wonderful quality of devotees. So like this, Lord Shiva explains to Parvati Devi. And Lord Shiva further on explains that although you're so beautiful and you have so much power and opulence, Chitraketu Maharaj has defeated you just simply by tolerance. And by his tolerance, he has defeated your power. So Prabhupada writes that the power of tolerance is such that simply by tolerating, one can defeat a higher authority, a higher person. Someone else might be very powerful, materially speaking, or very beautiful, or might have other opulences. But if one has this quality of tolerance, then one can defeat him. And that's what Lord Shiva explains to Parvati, that even though you're Durga Devi, even though you have such great power, even though you try to show off your prowess by cursing Chitraketu Maharaj, actually Chitraketu Maharaj is not the loser. Actually, you're the loser. By his tolerance, Chitraketu Maharaj has defeated you. Even though you're Durga Devi herself, simply by him tolerating your curse, he has defeated you. So like this, Lord Shiva, he glorifies Chitraketu Maharaj. And then after hearing all this, Parvati, she is ashamed of herself. Bhagavatam explains. So in the next life, Chitraketu Maharaj, he is born as the demon Vritrasura. And same situation like Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev knows he is fighting on the wrong side. Bhishma Dev knows he's going to get killed. But still, being detached, understanding that Krishna wants him to fight with Duryodhana, Bhishma Dev, being detached, he fought. So in the same way, Vritrasura, he knew that he was a demon. He was born in a demonic family. He knew he had a demon body. And he knew that Krishna wanted him to fight with Indra, and he knew that Krishna wanted him to get killed by Indra. So although he knew that he was going to get killed by Indra, still he fought with such vigor. And that's all given in 6th canto of Bhagavatam. And it's mentioned that Krishna, just cutting the past, I'm sure, Krishna had given Indra the Vajra. So Indra is famous for his weapon, Vajra, the thunderbolt, which was made by Dadichi's bones. And Lord Vishnu had personally given this, made this weapon for Indra. And Lord Vishnu said that I'll give you this weapon, Vajra, just get Dadichi's bones, and we'll make a thunderbolt out of it, and I'll give you this weapon. And this weapon will have all of my potency in it. And it will be infallible. You use this weapon against Vritrasura, you'll be able to kill him. But even though Vishnu personally assured Indra that you use this weapon, you can kill Vritrasura, Indra, he himself had doubts whether this weapon will actually work. And he was feeling scared while he was battling Vritrasura. Even though Vishnu himself gave Indra audience, and even though Vishnu himself personally gave him the weapon, still, Prabhupada writes, Indra's fate was so shaky, he doubted Vishnu's weapon, Vajra. On the other hand, Vritrasura, even though he's in a demon's body, Vritrasura is encouraging Indra by saying, why are you so scared to fighting me? Lord Vishnu has personally given his Vajra, and Vishnu has assured you that this Vajra will kill me. Have faith in Vishnu's words and go attack me with this Vajra. So like this, Vritrasura is encouraging Indra to fight. Who would do that normally, Hey, use this weapon, kill me, like that. So this is how detached the devotees of the Lord. Their whole focus is just on the Lord, just service to the Lord. Whatever Krishna wants them to do, they just focus on doing that. And whatever the external situation is, for them it doesn't matter. So even though Vritrasura is going to die, he's so happily fighting. And even though Indra, he is going to win, and he has Vishnu's weapon, Vajra, Indra is actually very morose and he's very scared and fearful. So from this we see the contrast, between two personalities. One is like pure devotee Lord, other one, he's like a mixed devotee. He doesn't have so much faith, and he doesn't have so much dependence of the Lord. So that's why he's not able to maintain, that peace of mind, that happiness. Whereas the pure devotee Lord, because he's always just simply fully dependent on the Lord, he is always happy in any condition. And that's why we see with all these great devotees like Vibhishan, Bhishma Dev, Chitraketu, Vritrasura, that in any condition of life they're always happy, they're always detached, they're just peaceful because they're always depending on the Lord. Prabhupada gives one very simple example of this, of the child. So when we're small, we're always just dependent on our parents. We don't have to worry so much. I have to work, I have to get money, I have to pay the bills, I have to buy this, I have to buy clothes, I have to buy food. None of the anxiety is there. Their parents, they provide everything. The parents, they provide food. The parents, they provide clothes, everything, shelter, entertainment, everything is there, provided by parents. And the child just freely enjoys whole day and night. Whatever he likes, he just does and freely enjoys. No anxiety, no problems. He has no worry about his fear. He's not fearful about anything. But when the child grows up, and now he's like his own man, and he goes away from the parents, now suddenly all anxieties come, He has to work to pay the bills, he has to get food, he has to buy his clothes, he has to do this, do that. So many anxieties and troubles comes immediately as soon as the person goes away from the parents. So in the same way, Prabhupada explains, our position natural position is to be the children, of Radha Gopinath. When we're like that small child of Radha Gopinath, then we'll always be happy. That's our natural condition. Fully dependent on Lord, that Krishna and Radharani, they'll provide everything for us. When we're fully in that situation of dependent on Lord, then that's a constitutional position. In that situation, we'll always be happy when we're fully depending on Lord. But when we become independent, think that, I'll do this, I'll do that. When we start doing things according to our own plan, whimsically, without following the plan of Krishna or Krishna's devotees, then all problems and anxieties will come. But as long as we're following Krishna's plan, or the devotee's plan, then we'll be happy and peaceful. Other example is of the dog. One time Prabhupada was walking on the beach, and and there was some stray dogs. And Prabhupada asked, what's the difference between these stray dogs and that rich man carrying that dog on the leash? And then Prabhupada explained, the stray dogs, they have no master. That's why they're suffering. Whereas the dog with the master, he is very happy. Every day, the master nicely bathes him. The master brings nice clothes for him. He has nice shelter at home. The master feeds him nicely every day. Everything's provided to him by the master. So he's actually happy. Whereas these stray dogs, externally it seems the stray dogs are they're having fun. They're independent. The stray dog can go wherever he wants. He doesn't have to have a leash around his neck. He can just wander wherever he wants in the city. He can go this street, this area, that area. Wherever he wants, he can travel. So externally, Maya will make it look that if we're independent of Krishna, we'll be very happy. We can do this, we can do that. We can eat whatever we want. We can watch TV. We can do this, do that. Whatever we want, we can do. We're free. We can associate with anyone. We can eat anything. We can watch anything. We can do anything. So Maya will externally make it look that this is happiness, being independent of Krishna. But actually, that's suffering. That will bring us so much burden and suffering to us. Just like the stray dog. Externally, it seems they're happy, but actually they're not. Whole day they're in anxiety. Where will they get food? And they have no shelter. There are no well they'll sleep. If it rains, thunderstorm, where will they go? Where will they find food? And they're getting beaten by different people. Whenever someone sees a stray dog, oh, this dirty dog, kick him out, and they shout at him. So in the same way, when we're independent of Krishna, we used to go through all these sufferings. But Maya will make it look, actually, we're happy, we're having fun, we're being happy. But actually, the real happy person is the dog with the leash, the dog who has the master. The master takes care of all the needs of the dog, and that's why the dog is happy and satisfied. So, and Prabhupada writes that we're like that dog of Krishna. And this is our leash. Prabhupada once he said, Kantimala, neck beads, that's like a leash. Another time I think he said Shika. That whenever we're doing something wrong, Krishna will pull us back from the Shika and protect us. Okay, we'll stop here. We're just on time. Grantra Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Jaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Gaur Pramanande.